It's a shot session.
No, you're fine. I love the way he done this. This is a vibe for me.
Little something going on.
Yeah, this is a vibe for me.
We try.
That's it. Nah, you're not trying. You're doing it. I love it. And can I just say, I'm like really proud of you. Like I know this is very passionate for you. You know, and that even through all the life things we life in, you know,
be happy,
you're doing it.
Trying to keep
on
going.
I know this is what you went to school for. Like I'm really proud of you. I'm happy that you have a beautiful family and you're doing something you love. I'm happy to hear that.
It's a beautiful thing. I gotta keep going. I
know. The going part is the hard. It's the hard even when, you know,
you got roadblocks in front of you. Life, yeah, you know, you
climb through and slide down the hill. That's what you do.
We don't make it away.
That's it. That's it.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, I know we was talking about the cash value, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm not, so would you? I know my friend was telling me about how he puts in extra money so that I guess you get a little extra on that side.
Yeah.
I've heard, or I just read the other day, like, what would be a reason why people would not think that the cash value component, or why they think it's a terrible? Because this is the first time I ever heard that. I don't even know why I'm even asking you this question.
No, it's okay.
You know
I mean, it's a valid question, right? Because you know, you always have to see both sides of it and then make a educated determination for you. And that's why I always lead with what is your goal? What's important to you? What do you find value in? And then in that way, that helps me assess with my clients, okay, what's gonna be a better fit, right? And so your friend's correct. When we're looking at insurance, there's always something called the cost of insurance. Terms tend to be more cost effective because it's a time period, right? Okay. So they're saying, hey, you could not, may not happen, so you know it's more cost effective. Your cost of insurance is just going to be different. When you have it for your whole life, they have to factor in what's called the mortality, like your risk of mortality, right? Because you're having it as you get older. And you know, I mean, as we get older, there's always that potential sooner that they're gonna have to pay it out. There's no question when you have a permanent plan, whether it be whole life, universal, variable, index, like they know they're gonna pay it out. What they don't know again is the if, right? Or when, right? Yeah. They know they are. There's no if, it's the when, right? So there's your cost of insurance, and so when your friend is saying extra, it's like there's the cost of insurance and then there's the portion that goes to your cash value, right? So when you make that one contribution, a portion of the cost of insurance is going to get paid and then a portion goes to the accumulation value, right? So when you put extra in, right, that automatically will go to the accumulation because there's something called target premium. So when you pay that, you're saying, I'm paying exactly what I need to into this. Right? When you put the extra in, that goes to your cash value to help you grow.
Okay.
So it's like anything. If I put 200 in a savings versus 4, I'm gonna have more because I put the 4 in, right? Versus the 2. Like the math is the same.
Right.
Some individuals, either based on, you know, where they're getting their education or, you know, just what they value, right? We'll see it that there are some higher costs with a index universal life because of those upfront fees, right? So there's like administrative fees. They have to factor in surrender charges, right? So let's say this is not like a term. If you choose to just stop paying that, that's it. Just okay. They got what they got. You got what you got.
To cut you gently, I think you mentioned it earlier. There's some terms where you just stop and then you have to continue, or you just and they'll give you some money back, or
so it's 3 things, right? One is you have a term, you pay that for the duration of whatever your term is, right? Let's say 15 years. Right. Then at the 15 year, they're gonna say, okay, Aaron, this is 15 years that we made this agreement. You've paid your level plan into it. You paid what we said, whatever that amount is. Here's the 15th year. What would you like to do? Would you like to continue with the same amount of coverage, or would you just like to end it? You might say, well, what is it to continue? And now again, if it was like say $30, $40, $50 you were paying for like $500,000, let's just say, now they're gonna say, okay, well, Aaron, now you're in your 50s, so it's gonna be like $200.
Okay.
And you're gonna say, oh no, because then every year after that it can increase.
Okay.
So that's the annual renewable term. Some people will go into that kind of plan immediately. What is the benefit from that? It's gonna start off a lot lower,
And then
but it'll
as you
increase.
age out.
Right. So for me, when I'm thinking about someone's budget, right, we really like to budget when we know what. No, I know it's off sometimes, right? But we know for the most part, our light, right, like our light bill's this, our car note's that, right? And so I know most people like that versus, all right, this year, I don't know, it's gonna be like $1,000 a month for the same amount of coverage, right? That's the thing, the coverage doesn't go up, it stays the same, but you end up paying more. Right, so there's those two options, right? You can do that and change it every year. You can take the level amount and decide whether you want to keep it or do that again. And then there's those plans where you can actually get your money back at the end of it. You know, just depends on
which one, what policy or
or which one you choose, because the ones that you get your premiums back, those again do tend to cost a little bit more.
Okay, I see.
Just because they're giving you the money back at the end,
sense,
right?
Yeah. They're counting on it if it happens.
Correct. Yeah. With the permanent, that's completely different, right? Because this is saying I'm keeping this till I die.
Yeah.
Like that. You don't go into that saying I'm going to stop paying into it, right? Because then you end up losing. To be quite honest with you. That's what I was about to
ask you. Let's say you're already in year 29.
Oh yeah.
And God forbid, you know, your income just messes up or whatever. I know what my friend was saying, you could probably pull out of there and just pay the rest of it. But let's say you don't have it like that.
Yeah,
you know,
so
you just won't get anything.
Yeah, some policies will essentially, if you have that accumulation built up in it, it will pay the premiums. So it's like paying itself. Yeah. Now that's really good for your scenario, right? Like say you lose your job and you're looking at your expenses, and that's just one that even though you've been doing for a while, you feel like because you have the cash accumulated built up, you can utilize that so that you don't lose the actual coverage. Okay. Now what happens though now is you're not putting into the cash accumulation anymore.
You're actually just paying into
You're just paying to the cost of your insurance. So some people are like, the cost of an insurance tends to be a little bit higher. The fees in the beginning years can be a little bit higher. But that's why I say again, it's got to fit into what a person's financial goals are. That for me is a very specific plan, right? So when we're talking about terms, for me that's really risk management. Okay, again, the assets I'm protecting. Right. Permanent insurance really are more like a wealth accumulation tool.
It's a shot session.